Welcome to Ikasan Online Tutorials. My name is Michael Stewart. I'm a core developer on the Ikasan platform, and today we're going to be talking about how to create a new job plan using the Ikasan Scheduler Designer. The first thing we're going to do is click into the scheduler screen using the scheduler icon in the left-hand menu. That takes us to the scheduler dashboard. And then we're going to click into job plans. I'm going to create a new job plan by clicking the new job plan button. Once that button is clicked, we're presented with a dialog which has a number of fields that are required fields in order to create a new job plan. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to give it a start chronic time expression, which is when we want this job plan to become active on any given day. So I'm going to say that it starts at 1 a.m. On a specific day. So we're going to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And it has a duration of 23 hours. It's going to run in the London time zone. The default view on the tree view of this job plan is going to be expanded to 1 level. We're going to have it so it can run concurrently, i.e. more than one instance of this job plan can run concurrently if necessary. We've also got the opportunity to define some blackout windows here, which are time windows within which this job plan will not be created. So for example, you may not want this particular job plan to be active on a specific public holiday or something along those lines. And then there's also the opportunity to define the description. So we'll just keep that very simple. I'll create that, and we can see that the new online demo job plan is now available. So I'm going to click into the new window icon, and you can see we're presented with a palette here. It's a very simple view of our job plan. It's got one parent node in it that we can click into, and we're presented with another palette. So I'm going to add some jobs to that parent node to begin with. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a simple time-based event job. So we'll call that 7 a.m. demo job. I'm going to pin that to an agent. We've got one agent available. Give it a description, and as the name suggests, it's going to run at 7 a.m. and it's going to run in the London time zone. We'll click save there, and our job's been added to the palette. I'm going to add another job to this palette, and I'm going to add a command execution job this time. A command execution job is a job that performs some work for us. So we'll call that demo command 1. We'll pin it to our agent. I'll give it a description, and it's going to do a very simple job. It's going to do a directory listing. It's going to go to sleep for 10 seconds, and it's going to do another directory listing. I hit save there, and our demo command execution job has been added to the palette. And lastly, what I'm going to do is create a dependency on that 7 a.m. job between that and the command execution job. So what we've got here is when the 7 a.m. time event occurs, this job knows it's required to run. So I'm going to save that and go back to our original palette. You can see if I click into that now, it's got the jobs I've just defined. Now, what I'm going to do is add a child node to this job plan. So we'll give it a name, child node 1, and a description. and it now appears in our job plan. So I'm going to make that child node dependent upon the online demo parent node. Now what I want to do is click into that and add some jobs. The first thing I'm going to do is add an existing job. We're going to make this child node dependent upon the command execution job running in its parent. Then I'm going to add some new jobs. I'm going to add another command execution job called demo command 2. We're going to pin it to the same agent, give it a description and some very basic things that it needs to do. I'll save that. And make it dependent on demo command 1. Now I'm going to add another job to this particular node or child job plan. I'm going to add a file watcher job. As the name suggests, this job type is looking for the arrival of a file. And when that file arrives, it raises an event. So we'll call it demo file watcher 1. We'll pin it to our agent. We'll give it a description. We'll tell it about the file it's going to be looking for. We need to define a cron expression that outlines the intervals within which this should run. So let's say that this runs between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. And it's polling every minute starting on the north minute of the hour. We also can set up an alert cron expression, so I expect that to have arrived by 5 p.m. If it hasn't arrived by 5 p.m. and 5 minutes after, we'll raise an alert. And I want this to also run in the London time zone. So you can see there we've got our file watcher job. Now, what we need to do is add a logical rule around this. Basically, what I want to happen is that when this job executes and this file arrives, that this one will execute. So I'm going to add an AND grouping that defines the relationship between these two jobs and how that one is then executed based on the fact that both of them need to have run in this AND logical grouping. So I save that. Now click back in and you can see we've got our job plan. Now it's added an extra icon, and the reason this extra icon here is here, we can click into that. That's because we have this job which its execution has an impact on this downstream node as well, and that's denoted by this yellow circle. And then when the file arrives and that job is complete, we then go ahead and execute this one. So that's the very simple job plan defined. So I'm going to close that window and come back over here to our job plan tab. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable that job plan. Now, when I enable a job plan, it communicates with the agent the fact that the job plan has been defined, and it goes and configures that agent in a manner that allows the agent to execute this particular job plan. And what it also does is it creates an instance of that job plan. So you can see here in our quick access menu that there's now an instance of our online demo. So I'm going to click into that, and that takes us into our job plan instance view of that running instance. And you can see here we've got a number of tabs available here. We can look at the tree view of that. We can also click in and see our visualization of that job plan. We can see all of the jobs that are associated with it. We can see the audit trail, and we can also just see the raw underlying document that represents that job plan. So I'm going to come back here and just demonstrate how I can run that job plan now. So you can see here, under normal circumstances, this job plan would run at 7 AM when that time event occurs, but I can override that just by manually submitting that. You can see that that job now runs, and we can see that our job plan is starting to execute. So our demo command job 1 here is currently running, and it's complete, and you can see it's now impacted the downstream node as well. We can come in here and we can have a look at our log file, and we can see that it's done its directory listing as I asked it to. You can see here, if I click into the visualization this way, you can see here that this job hasn't run, and the reason it hasn't run yet is because we've logically said both of these must execute before that one will run. So what I'm going to do is manually override the arrival of this file by manually submitting that event. You can see that now that downstream job has started to run. And now it's complete. So we can click into that job, and we can have a look at the output log file from that as well. And you can see it's done a directory listing as I'd asked it to. If we click back, we can now see that the job plan has gone into a completed state, and we've successfully built a job plan using the designer, and we've successfully executed an instance of that job plan end to end. So this is a very, very simple demonstration of those features. Hopefully illustrate how you can get up and running with your own job plan designed from scratch using the Ikasan Scheduler Designer. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that's been informative. We'll see you in the next video.